Yo, what's good? How's it going? Look, I'm glad you're here. My name is Albert Williams III, and welcome to the Uncommon Legend channel here on YouTube. And today we're unboxing some of the things. So recently just had the Amazon, Prime deal days, and really good opportunity to go and, upgrade your equipment or get some stuff you might have been looking at for quite some time. For me, that's kind of what I did. I've been looking at some stuff for quite some time, stuff to help me in terms of photography as well as content creating. And this is kind of my hobby. This is like something I, really enjoy doing, but also look to kind of cultivate this to becoming more of a business and just kind of seeing what that brings me. But that being said, yeah, so got a couple of things here. One, I have this SmallRig mini LED video light to kind of help me with video. Normally I'm using my little light that I have on right there, but this should help me with a few more colors, so like let the videos pop a little bit more. This right here is a new neck strap because the one I have on my current camera, this is my main camera right here. This is my Sony 6100 and I love it a lot. It's really awesome, really enjoy it. But the problem is when I put it on and I go to shoot, I only have so much space. Granted, it is really good when I want to, pick up and go shoot immediately. But the thing is, it has some limitations if I am not really in a place to go and have it just around my neck, because it also gets really heavy. So it is what it is. This right here is my Viltrox it's a 23 millimeter AF prime lens, and it's a f1.4. So I'm super excited about the really low aperture because that'll help me a lot with photos and a couple of videos as well, because just having that lower aperture is just really good. And then this right here, this was, this is a really big, I guess you could say, gamble for me. This is a flash, and I went with the Neewer because, well, I really like Neewer and SmallRig and all their little things that they have, and so I wanted to give it a shot, and because it was on sale. So if I really want one different here in the future, I'll just do it. But for the time being, because I'm just getting more into it, I'd rather go the cheaper route and then just upgrade from there. So typically I like to go, cheaper or whatever, but also I like to have good stuff. So that being said, first thing we're gonna do is unbox this new strap right here. So I'm super excited about it because, well, one, I'm hoping that it gives me a little bit more length than the past, but also because it's a little bit easier to take on and off my camera. At least that's what they said. So I really like SmallRig, and that's what this one is. This is the brand, and they do a really good job, one, with creating materials and things for your camera. And if you're looking into, maybe upgrading some stuff that you have, if you're like, man, I really, wish I had this or that, I would recommend SmallRig. I have a SmallRig cage. I also have a couple other little things. So I got this handle for when I do video and I'm actually walking and talking and doing video. I also have this little phone mount holder right here, and I put it on top of my camera. So when I'm doing social media, but I'm also capturing photos, I don't have to do too much of back and forth of pulling out the phone out of my pocket and then, hoping and wishing that, oh shoot, am I going to be able to pick up my camera? And so what happens is I take it, no, it's right here in front of me. So take it, put it right here, put it on this little cold shoe mount right here, and boom, it's ready to go right there, ready for me to shoot. And that's one of my favorite parts about it, because just the accessibility of it, and because one, this cage has all the different places and spaces for attachments, so that's really good. But for me personally, yeah, I got into photography just shy of a year ago, and it was a really big move for me, and it was a really big deal because for me personally, I've just been into photography on my phone. I kind of dabbled in it, and, you know, just kind of looked into it, what it would look like, what it would be like to own a camera and, you know, take photos like just as a hobby. But now as I'm getting into it semi-professionally, not really. It's been pretty cool. I've had a couple little things here and there. I got to shoot one of my friends. Their maternity shoot was really awesome, and I felt really honored that they asked me to do it. And the fun thing about photography is when your friends ask you to do stuff and you're just like, yeah, sure, whatever. And, you know, you just do it out of the kindness of your heart. But they also go, hey, like, this is an opportunity. I just threw it over there on my bed because why not? But, you know, they just take it as an opportunity to highlight that, like, hey, you're doing good stuff. And I appreciate that. So, Jordan, Naomi, if you watch this, I appreciate you. But that being said, you know, what I have enjoyed about photography and like creating content and doing stuff like this, it gives me an outlet to express like myself, but also get to showcase like stuff that's happening in my life. So honestly, the main reason why I picked up a camera, nothing's cracked. The main reason why I picked up a camera to begin with was to highlight what I do in my day-to-day job. So my day job is actually being a pastor to college students. As a campus minister, a lot of times we just don't get the, I would say, you know, recognition of, you know, what's happening, but not because people don't care, but because people just don't know. So one of the things to do is, you know, tell your story, tell the story of the ministry. And that's like my big thing. And I also just realized the fact that I'm going to have to take this lens off because I have to, but also I need to take off this case. Cool thing about all this stuff is that, you know, it's pretty easy to take all these things off. So this is my Sony 28x70 lens, and it is like my favorite thing to shoot with. But I'm really excited about this lens because it'll just be, you know, one, that lower aperture, but two, just an opportunity to do a little bit more portraits with, like, don't get me wrong, I have done portraits. I did some senior portraits for one of my former students here not too long ago, and like it's a really fun opportunity to do so. But I think it'll be really good to have, you know, just a prime lens that I can trust. I have another prime lens, but it goes just down to 2.8, and, you know, being able to let like just a little bit more, well, not really a little bit, a lot more light in, because like this is a 1.4, so literally like half of the other one. So taking this, putting this off to the side, just so I can allow myself to see my camera. And what's so funny is, so this is the Sony A6100, and it's really small, like without the cage. Like, I know you probably saw it with the cage on earlier and you're like, dang, that's kind of a big camera, but really when you take it off, it's a really small camera. And I think that's one of the things I really like about this camera is like it's really small, compact, and very versatile for sure, because you can do just a lot with it. But I think for me, it's time to upgrade just a couple of things, like this neck strap, and not the one, because the one I have, it came with the camera, so like that's just part of it. But for me, you know, having these little things, right, having, you know, the camera and being able to do all this stuff. Also, I'm no good at taking these things off ever, but that's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. Like, it's kind of hard taking all this stuff off, but I just enjoy, you know, being able to do all this, because with my day-to-day job, like, I get to see ministry and life and all these things from a different lens, from a different perspective, and it just gives me, you know, new insight on, you know, how other people might view like what I do and what that means. And, you know, the thing is, I recognize that this channel might probably only get like 5 views, because right now I have like 13 subscribers, and that's totally fine. But ultimately I create because, like I said earlier, it's an outlet, but also it inspires others to want to do stuff, or maybe it gives somebody a new perspective on life. Years ago, I started my podcast, Uncommon Legend, and it was a really big move for me because it just gave me that space to like be myself and ask really hard questions of myself, like, because it was a short format podcast. So ultimately, my goal is to motivate, inform, and inspire others to be their best, right? But in order for me to, inspire others to be their best, I also have to work on myself and ask myself, what is my best? And what does that look like? What does it mean for me, to show up, right? Like, how do I show up? How do I show up? And like my friendships, my relationships, my job, not just like physically showing up, but like spiritually and emotionally and, just my mere presence, right? And understanding what showing up looks like from that aspect, from that angle. That's a really big thing to ask of yourself. Like, what does that genuinely look like, and how can you do that well? And hopefully I did this right, but that's that. This is the new strap on there, and it's about the same, but a lot stronger for sure. Actually, it's a lot lower, so this is really good. So I'll be able to take it, put it around, and probably not feel as goofy, but it is what it is. I probably will still feel goofy, but that's probably because I am goofy. Just kind of is what it is. But for me, being able to ask those questions of like myself and how do I show up for others is a really big thing. And I just want to be able to invite others to do that same thing. So like part of this channel is, this thing I've created over time is really just a place for me to process, but also for like giving you the space to process with me. And that's what I truly enjoy about like creating content, is that like you, yes, have an opportunity to share and do all these things, but also you have an opportunity to, invite others into it and see where their head's at and see what, what inspires them, what makes them click, what makes them, like want to strive to be their best, what makes them say, wow, like what are, those moments and all those things. So, you never know what it could be, what it could look like to, do all these things if you don't first, put yourself out there. And let's be honest, that's the hardest part, putting yourself out there, being vulnerable. No one likes being vulnerable. No one likes, being the first to do something. But, truthfully, out of not all, but majority of my friends, I'm like the only one that is a creator like this, a creative. I have one good friend, my buddy Trey, he's on YouTube too. You should definitely check him out, Just Trey Productions. And he's a creative. He's been in photography for years, so he and I bounce ideas off each other. But for the rest of my friends, they're all like stupid smart. So I happen to exist a little different, because whereas I might not be as like book smart as them, now don't get me wrong, I do have my own, book smartness to myself, because I'm in grad school for seminary, and that is just a whole nother animal, because it's just a whole nother animal. But yeah, that's that. So by the way, this right here is this new light apparatus of some sorts that I'm opening up, and it's pretty dope. So like, just as I'm looking into it, it has all these little things that come with it that allow you to, play with how you light things, in terms of like if it's gonna have just that, like, not that flashlight kind of light to it, but other things. Oh man, I gotta charge it. Boo. But that's totally fine. I ain't mad, because they send it to you dead. Got all these little attachments here. So this is the light itself, but I can also throw this on here and it'll kind of give me some little grain of some sort, just like some filter. And then I have all these like light filters, so that'd be really good to add some, you know, light or a different color to videos as well, because why not? Like, why not do that? Because I think for me personally, creating is just an opportunity to, you know, ask those questions of like, why not? What else could we do? You know, what could it look like? And then here's also this little map, like a mini like matte box. This is like so trippy. So that's kind of like what the filmmakers and whatnot use, is those little matte boxes right there. So it's there, and then it pops on here. Well, it's probably a little bit different than how I'm trying to do it, but yeah, you get the gist of it. So that's that. That's pretty sick, pretty legit. And for all I know, for all intents and purposes, it probably goes on this, and I'm just doing it all wrong, because that happens sometimes. But it's fine. I'm fine. Everything's fine. We're good. So that's that. That's the mini light box situation that I have here. And that looks pretty chill, and I'm super excited to dive more into that as time goes by. And there's also this other little cone light. It's pretty sick. Put that through there as well. So you got that, and yeah. So I mean, you just never know what creating can do for you. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, because all my friends, whereas, like I said, they're all like stupid smart. One of my friends just graduated with his master's in like health administration, and like super smart dude. Terrell, if you're watching this, you're my boy, and I love you, man. And that joker gets married here in a few months, and he's probably sweating bullets right now just thinking about it, because it'd be like that sometimes. But it's the best decision you'll make, and you just want to make sure you marry the right person. So if you yourself are thinking about marriage and are wondering, what the heck am I doing with my life? It's okay. You're fine. Breathe. Go drink some water. You're not the first. You're definitely not the last, right? But it definitely is a whirlwind, and you're probably going, what the heck did I just get myself into? Totally normal. Totally fine. Also, pretty sure I put this on wrong. So that is, is what it is. But like, all of them super smart, and you know, they often just ask me like, how in the world did I, like, wow, I feel really smart for doing this wrong the whole time, but it's fine. But they all ask me questions of like, you know, how did you know it was time for you to like create? What did that, you know, entail? How did you make those decisions, right? You never really know until you just try. So like, give it a shot, man. Like, folks get on Twitch and YouTube and all these different things, and they stream and they video themselves, and it's stupid scary, right? Like, somebody might laugh at me, and that's a real fear. Like, I mean, heck, I'm doing this right now. Somebody has left a comment on like one of my videos here recently, and they were like, no bueno. To be honest with you, there is healthiness in just blocking people and just moving on, carrying on. But also, like, recognize that when you put yourself in the spotlight, you're going to be ridiculed. Someone's going to call you stupid. Someone's going to call you crazy. That's just part of it. But you got to have a certain type of crazy to keep showing up and keep doing it and finding value in it, because you value it. And, like, the more you value something, the more you'll find others that value what you value. And then sooner or later, you've built a community on people that value the stuff that you value, that care about the things that you care about. But at first, starts with starting. Like, you just have to start. So but either way, choose to do stuff that you enjoy and invite others into that. You just never know what that'll bring you into. Because for me, I think one of the coolest things is, like, I've invited friends to be a part of my podcast, and do stuff like that. And, you know, one of the things is like, man, I never would have seen myself being like on a podcast, right? Like, you know, we listen to them, we talk about them, but never have I, you know, seen myself being on one. Or at least, you know, I think friends thought that. I mean, and even for myself, like I never thought like I would be on one until I started one myself. And just giving people opportunities to do that is just really cool, because one, you give them that opportunity to shine themselves. Like, you just never know. And maybe, like I said, in the meantime, you might inspire somebody to do that very thing. And I think like the biggest thing is just like having that humility to, you know, one, start the thing, but two, invite others into it and see what it grows into from there. Because I think a lot of times we can get into those places and spaces, and, you know, if we're not careful, I think we can get like gatekeep, and that can just be really unnecessary and just pointless. And I think otherwise, if we just allow people in, we can see something different. We can see something really awesome. And yeah. So anyway, going to this next thing. This is my newer. The brand is called Neewer, not like this is a newer flash. But anyway, the brand is called Neewer, and it's a flash. Nice little bag that comes in right here. And right here, I believe it's just one of the like code shoe kind of like little things. Put in manual, because gotta have a manual for everything. But pretty sick. Yeah, this is nice. Always love like when it like comes off. So taking that off, run that bad boy on here just to see it. All the things. Yes, battery slots. Had it. That there, and then boom, flash, just like that. And you know, the thing about flashes, like you can like turn them on and turn them off, set it to a certain mode and all that. So I'm excited to get in that and see what all of that is like, because, you know, flash is super needed. Very helpful in terms of like getting those photos that are like super crisp, right? And like the lighting is just like chef's kiss. So super excited to get into that, see what all that's like. And yeah, we'll see. But that's the Neewer flash, and that's that. So I've been trying to like fool with this entire time with like this new camera strap, and I feel like I get like one step closer and then like 10 steps back like every time I do this. But that is what it is. And yeah, I'm just gonna have to redo it again and rethread it to make it do what it needs to do for like me. And yeah, so got into photography a year ago though, and I've been enjoying it ever since. Like, what I enjoy about photography is the ability to be present behind the lens a lot of times in life, because yours truly is undiagnosed with ADHD. But that's neither here nor there. But I have found myself being like super, not really anxious, but like very much like scattered. Like I find myself being like super scatterbrained at times. And so what I enjoy about photography is that it gives me a sense of like just being and just being present in the moment with the shot, you know. And like I'm not super, just pull this up here, like whereas like I want to get shot, like always want to get shot, but I'm not hyper fixated on like what I can, right? So yeah, Viltrox 23 1.4 lens. Super excited about this. Yeah, just being able to take shots, I think, with this like particular lens. I'm really excited about it just because of all the little things you get to do with it, and all these little bitty things they like give you. So got this bag here, and I always love a good lens bag. It's really nice, dope. And the Mamba Jamba herself, this is like a really nice lens. It's like the lens cap, or lens hood, I'm sorry. Lens hood. And the lens itself, this is funny for me. Like, this is like much smaller than what I'm used to lens wise. And just gonna see where it goes. But yeah, this is Viltrox. Gosh, that thing is strong. And oh my gosh, like, no lie, this is like a whole new world for me. Like, being able to like control the aperture is huge. Like, no matter where I'm at on here, because I like to shoot manual, but knowing that like I can shoot manual now and not have the problem of like, oh man, I want to shift down to this aperture or what have you. It's not a problem anymore because this bad boy can do it. Like, I'm not having to just worry about that. So yeah, we'll see where this takes me, because this lens is like already a game changer, and I can tell. So I'm super excited for it, and the photos I'll take with it. And yeah, like, so that being said, you know, different hobbies, different things we get into, find your niche, right? Find the things that you're super interested in and go after that, and, you know, get good at it, make it your craft. Like, for me, it's photography, and then also just content creating, podcasting, all these different things. But none of that's possible if I don't believe in myself. So that's been an unboxing, and I hope you enjoyed it. Be good, y'all. Peace up and hair grease.